What's up, sports bettors? Lines are on the move. You can see here, lines are moving against the Hornets, it looks like. They just moved from plus 290 to plus 300 on BetMGM Sportsbook 19 seconds ago. So following the line movements, looking for sharp plays. That's all we're doing, right? So let's go ahead, let's get into it. And one way I do like to use this screen that I will mention is if you look at the live lines, at halftime, in between quarters, you're often able to find some pretty big line discrepancies. Like you can see these lines for the Nets Clippers game, they're jumping around so quickly because the game is literally going on right now. But sometimes if you open this up at halftime or in between quarters, you can find some really big discrepancies in the games and some good spots with value. So let's go ahead. Let's get into it. Here you can see an arbitrage bet between PointsBet and Superbook. Superbook giving you the Heat at minus 360. PointsBet giving you the Hornets at plus 375. So that seems like a great play, right? There's a lot of value if you're able to get the Hornets at plus 375. So maybe you want to dive into that on PointsBet. But I'll just start sharing my picks with you. And again, these are just plays I put my own money on. There are a lot of ways to skin the cat, right? You can use the screen. Some people like to do that. What other people like to do is they like to, go. So in between halftime is a good time to look for line discrepancies, of course. But also what you can do is you can go to, like player passing yards. And sometimes you're just able to manually spot really big discrepancies between the bookies. So I'll wait for it to pull up here. But for example, here it's like, okay, 5 yard difference for Jimmy G, in his passing yards line. It's 241 half on this sports book, 246 half here. Here we can see lines are moving for Dak's passing yards line. So this screen is pretty valuable because it allows you to just like browse the market, quickly scan for discrepancies. And all the positive EV tool does is try to point them out to you, right? It tries to point out to you where are there plays with value, right? It's really that simple. Value is all that matters as a sharp bettor. And you have to hunt for value, right? Sportsbooks charge the vig, they charge the spread. If you want to make money sports betting, you have to beat the vig, you have to beat the juice. You're always looking for an edge, plays with an edge. No bet is guaranteed to win. You will still go on losing streaks as a sharp bettor, but the first play I'm on is John Collins under 11.5 player points. So if you pull up, kind of the odds across the market, we're looking to see if we really like the value at plus 115, and we do. Pinnacle, sharpest bookmaker in the world, all the way down at plus 101. We continue to look through. A lot of books aren't even laying plus money on this play. Minus 110 on 10bet, minus 110 on DraftKings, minus 115 on WinBet. So it seems like we're getting some pretty dang good value at plus 115, and it's enough value to beat the vig, beat the juice, that this is a play I want to be on. Now you may be like, oh, why did you skip this play? And honestly, I don't know why. I wasn't logged into FanDuel. I can go log into FanDuel and we can bet it. Like the same math applies to this bet on top as well. The market's always moving, so I'm just showing you what I bet, and then another play popped up. So the market's always bouncing around. Sports betting as a sharp bettor, you really are like a day trader, right? You're tracking the line movements, you're following the line movements, and you're constantly looking for value. So this is the first play I went with, John Collins under 11.5 points. And again, why are my plays on Betway Sportsbook? That's another question I get. Why did you start using this sportsbook? I'm in Arizona right now, so my plays are on Betway. It really is that simple. Betway's not in, Virginia, I don't think, or maybe it is, but when I go home for like Christmas or something, right, like if I don't have the sportsbook available, I'm not going to have plays on that sportsbook. So I'm literally just showing you what I bet. So that's the first pick I ended up going with, John Collins under 11.5 points. And then here's another pick, right? Eric Gordon over 1.5 rebounds. So this play, there's a little more discrepancy in the market. It's kind of more of a niche market, right? Caesars, BetMGM, Hard Rock laying minus 120, Superbook. So it doesn't seem like minus 115 is fantastic, but all the bookies have the over heavily juiced, right? Or not heavily juiced. They all have the over juiced. But what you're going to notice is Bet Online and Pinnacle, which are two very sharp offshore sports books. You always want to be tracking the offshore lines because those are the most efficient betting markets. These are the sports books that are the most sophisticated. They take bets from all over the world. They allow a lot larger bet sizes. They're sharper betting markets. And you can see Pinnacle, sharpest bookmaker in the world, is laying minus 145, and so is Bet Online. So yeah, enough value to pick it up minus 115. As a sharp bettor, you're like a value investor. Every day you wake up, it's not, I want to bet on the Rockets Pelicans game on Eric Gordon rebounds. It's not how you should think, right? You want to think, okay, there's a ton of value in NHL and there's a ton of games and a ton of line movements and lineup changes and, injuries. I'm probably going to be betting a lot on the NHL. And maybe that value is on WinBet. Maybe they're asleep at the wheel in the NHL. Maybe it's Caesars. Who knows, right? So this is a 2-leg parlay I went with. As an example, 2 picks, John Collins under 11.5 points, Eric Gordon over 1.5 rebounds. I say this all the time, but I ride with you guys on all these plays, right? So you'll see in settle, right? Wins, losses, here, lost $750. And a lot of people are like, damn, man, that must suck. And it's just like, yeah, I mean, it does suck, but I also understand the math, right? If you go to the bet tracker, what's really cool about this bet tracker is you can now sync your sports books directly with OddsJam. So this is literally, for the sports books I've synced, my exact profit and loss. Again, just for the sports books I've synced, I have to go through and sync them all. This is WinBet New York. This is WinBet Arizona. So if we go to WinBet, it looks like it logged me out. But you can't sync every sports book, I believe. Like if you try to link a new book, they don't all sync. But this is useful, PointsBet right here, Caesars. And what this does is it just shows you your profit and loss, your ROI, and I'll keep syncing sportsbooks to show you it really is just a volume game. Keep placing positive EV bets. You can see here, just for these sportsbooks, so which ones did I have synced? I don't think you can sync this Betway one, but we have WinBet, Prize Picks, PointsBet, Caesars. New York Caesars is different than Caesars Arizona. It's not the same login. It's a completely different app. So you have to sync it twice. But what's really cool is, during this period, you can see week 17, 19, 20, we lost a lot of money. I lost a lot of money, and probably a lot of my YouTube plays lost a lot of money. But it's all about realizing it just works over the course of the long run, right? It really is a volume game. You need to place a bunch of plays with an edge. You're getting a 2% ROI every day. That's a 60% ROI, over the course of a month. So you just got to keep placing bets, stick with it, stick through the losing streaks, manage your bankroll appropriately. We have a bunch of videos about bankroll management, and let's make some money, guys.